If you've been looking to repair your credit on your own and you need some secrets that are going to help you get through the process more smoothly, this video is for you. Today I'll be reacting to a video from LifewithMC. Now, unlike most videos, this video was not sent to me. I actually found this video on my own. And when I watched it, I realized that she had a lot of good secrets, a lot of good information that she can give you guys when going through your own credit repair journey, especially if you're doing DIY credit repair. Now, many of you already know that I helped invent Dispute Beast, the most advanced DIY credit repair system on the planet. However, doing credit repair involves way more than just sending off letters to the credit bureaus. There's a lot of things that you can do during the credit repair process to either speed it up or slow it down. I'm showing you this video today in hopes of helping you get the absolute most out of your credit repair journey as fast as you possibly can. Let's go.
All right, so I got my notes ready, and today we're going to be talking about just credit repair secrets that you need to know. I got 6 tips that will really change the way you repair your own credit, okay? I'm a DIY credit repair advocate over here. I feel like you can do it yourself, but you just need to know what credit repair specialists know.
Me too.
Okay, so number 1, personal information matters. I know a lot of times we want to skip this step and we want to jump right into disputing the derogatory items on our credit report because we're looking to gain points. But cleaning up your profile really matters here. Oftentimes, creditors will validate your debts and validate the things that you're disputing based off what's in your personal information section. So there's no need for an address that you no longer live at to still be on your credit report, especially if it may be tied to a collection that's on your credit report, okay? So you want to clean up this information. Another reason why you want to clean up your personal information, because when you're in the rebuilding stage of your credit repair process, you may look a little bit more risky to lenders if you have an excessive amount of addresses, telephone numbers, and employers, because it looks like you can't seem to stay in one spot, and it seems like you don't have a consistent flow of income because you're bouncing around from one place to the next. So you want to just have it boiled down to just one name, one address being the one that you reside at, one employer or 2, especially if you work multiple jobs, but you want to appear stable to lenders, okay? And you want to lower the chances of a debt collector validating a debt just based off what's in your personal information section, especially if a debt may be tied to an address that you no longer live at. So,
clean it up! See you in 48 hours.
Listen, I just love her demeanor. I love her personality. She's very forthcoming, very refreshing. I love the way this video is going so far. And she's absolutely right about personal information. When it comes down to personal information, that is the beginning step of your credit repair journey. Don't let any dingy eyeball dreadhead or somebody inviting you to a brunch for some champagne that's going to make you pay for it tell you that one secret letter is going to get rid of it all. It's not. And even if that letter does point out some inconsistencies with a specific account, it might have a small chance of getting rid of that if it can expose enough information. But when you limit the chain that's tying your information to that account, how much more effective does that letter become? Credit repair is a process. You would never put just flat flour in an oven and expect to get a cake out. No, you got to add flour. You got to add the eggs. You got to add the milk. You got to add the butter. You have to do all these things in a sequence before you even mix it up and then put it in the oven. Credit repair is no different. There is a step-by-step process. Do it the right way and the results will come. Let's continue.
Number 2 would be, guys, when you are paying your debts, don't just make the assumption that because you paid a debt that it's going to be removed from your credit report. You want to get everything in black and white. You need concrete proof that the creditor is going to delete the account if you pay the agreed settlement amount. Okay, so don't just go pay an account, pay a collection, pay a charge-off account, pay any type of account, specifically ones that are derogatory that you're looking to get deleted. Don't just pay an account with the assumption that it's going to be removed just because you paid. You need the creditor to agree to delete, and you need it in writing, especially if they don't delete it right away once the account has been marked as paid by the credit bureaus and it's just reporting a zero balance. No, you need that derogatory item removed completely. So again, do not just make the assumption that because you pay a debt that it's going to be removed. You have to get them to agree in writing, and I would prefer you have it in writing, okay? Don't just take a verbal agreement because they can't go back on their word, and then it turns into he say, she say. Okay, so get it in writing, guys. All right, number 3.
So as somebody who has a pay for delete service that I actually charge for, I've made hundreds of phone calls to the likes of Portfolio Recovery, Midland Credit, Enhanced Recovery. When it comes to collection companies like this, Y'all, they not giving out written stuff no more. Not since the pandemic. They not doing that. So what I've come up with is a way to record them, and I let them know the call is being recorded on my end too. Everything you say, I'm recording. So when I make an agreement for a pay for delete, if the client pays this, you agree to do this. Typically what it is they will agree to remove the account, or at least send the notice to the bureaus to remove the account from the credit file 30 days after the account has been paid in full to the collection company. That is a standard pay for delete agreement. So if you can get them to do that on a recorded line, I would also get the emails of the person you talk to as well as their superior and begin to communicate them to leave a paper trail of the intent to delete after the fact that the account has been paid in full to the collection company. In 2024, that's probably the best way to go about doing it. I've had tremendous success doing it this way.
If you make a payment or acknowledge a debt is yours by agreeing to pay, that means if you call a debt collector or you call a creditor, especially on a debt that is charged off, that's closed, that still has a balance, if you do these things, you could potentially restart the statute of limitations on this debt, meaning that this applies in two ways. Statute of limitations meaning the credit reporting time, so the time that it's allowed to report on your credit report, which is based off the date of last activity. So if you go calling about a debt, inquiring about a debt, making a promise to pay over the phone, you will potentially restart the statute of limitations on this debt, meaning that it will stay on your credit report longer because that's a new form of activity that has been made on this account that can be notated by the creditor and reported to the credit bureaus. Also, if you go calling in or making a payment on a debt, especially a partial payment on a debt that is still within the statute of limitations, you run the risk of being sued. So what you might want to do is shut up.
Shut your mouth and your fat ass, boy.
Leave it alone. If you have you're not looking to pay the debt in full, you're not looking to do a pay for deletion, leave the shit alone if you are not in a position to be able to do so. Don't go calling, inquiring, acknowledging, messing around with accounts that's about to fall off your credit, that is, about to get out of the statute of limitations. Leave that shit alone before you start disputing. Wait until you're in the safe zone and the debt falls out of the statute of limitations before you go calling and inquiring about a debt, okay? Leave it alone. Number 4, just because you disputed a debt and got it removed from your credit report does not mean that your financial obligations to the debt are waived, that like it's forgiven, unless the creditor has told you so, unless you got it in writing that the debt is too old to collect, is too old for you to make a payment. Unless you got something in writing stating that, don't just assume because you got an account removed that your obligation to pay is done. So let's take a collection, for example. All right, you get the collection removed. Right? It's removed. They were unable to validate the debt. They were unable to do whatever. They removed the account after you sent in a dispute letter. Now, the original creditor who sold the debt, just because they sold the debt doesn't mean that you're no longer obligated to pay them or that debt collector, whoever, right? It just means that that debt is not on your credit report anymore. Now that original creditor could still go and sell that debt to someone else, or that debt collector could then turn the debt over to someone else. So the best way to eliminate debt being resold over and over again is to make a payment arrangement with the source, ideally being the original creditor. So if you can get that original creditor to agree to accept your payment, then that will stop the debt from being sold over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, so you want to go to the source to stop it altogether. I never said go to the debt collector, okay? I said go to the source. If the original creditor is willing to accept your payment, then make the payment with them. That way it can stop being resold. Now, if the debt is too old, leave that shit alone. And if you got proof that the debt is too old, keep it, being your credit report, being a letter that you received from a collector, which is usually in the fine print. It'll say that this debt is too old for you to be sued on. You can make a payment if you want to, basically, and they're just looking to get a payment, but it's usually in the fine print. They don't make that bold for you to know. You have to actually read the notice, okay? So yeah, definitely know that before you just go making payments on debt, or just assuming that just because you disputed a debt, then that means that you're no longer responsible for the debt. All right.
So she's 100% right. Getting the debt removed from your credit report does not absolve you from paying the debt. You are still liable for that debt. Now, One of the very first things that I've always told all my credit repair clients before I ever took them on as a client is if we are successful at helping you getting things removed from your credit report, the very next thing we're going to request from you is that you make a phone call to whoever's holding this account that we got deleted and pay the debt off. This stops them from selling the account. Just like she said, far too often in the credit repair space, people will sit back after a deletion and think, oh, everything's all good. And then they get pissed when they look at their credit report 4-6 months later, and there is another collection that they don't recognize that pops up on their credit report from the same original creditor that they thought they got deleted. I.e., if you had a Verizon account that went to collections and portfolio recovery was collecting on the account. Well, we got the portfolio recovery account removed and you thought you was in the clear. But guess what portfolio figured out? They figured out that they're no longer able to punish you on your credit report. So they will then sell the account over to Midland Credit. All of a sudden, a Midland Credit account pops up with the original creditor being Verizon. That will continue to happen over and over and over again, and you're going to blame it on the credit repair company so they didn't do their job. You just didn't finish the process. You get the collection removed, you make sure you pay it. It stops the re-reporting and the selling of the account.
Right. Okay, so number 5, you don't need to send in your disputes via certified mail. I know that you've heard reports in the past, and maybe at one point that it was really, really, really vital. But since the pandemic, things with the bureaus and as far as disputes, it's been a little slower than usual with them getting back to you. And certified mail doesn't mean that you're more of a priority to the bureaus. It just means that you'll know when they received your dispute letter, and you are able to calculate, how long it took them to respond, whether or not they responded or ignored your dispute, and then you can go on to either sue them for not responding or file a complaint against them with the CFPB for not responding to your dispute within the 30-day time period that they're allotted to respond back to you. Now, I only suggest sending in certified dispute letters to collection agencies because they are required to respond to you within 30 days if you are responding to a debt validation letter that they sent you before the collection is actually on your report. So I will just say to send certified mail to collection agencies, but you do not have to. It's not a requirement. This is just something to keep track. You know what I mean? So there's another tip.
So sending certified mail without notarizing it, boo-boo. Don't even do it. The notarization of the information certifies that the certified mail is actually holding mail. If you send in certified mail without it being notarized, you have no proof that you actually put paper in that envelope. You could be sending an empty envelope certified to the bureaus just so that you can, in 30, 45 days, go to the CFPB and say they didn't respond. Here, look, I can show you that it's certified that they received it on March 30th. It's now, May 15th, and I haven't heard anything back. And essentially speaking, all you did was scam the credit bureaus. So they put an end to that crap. There's no longer any certified mail being processed in the way it was being processed before. If you don't notarize it on top of certification, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your money.
And this will also save you money as well. Number 6, freezing your credit report does not stop anyone such as LexisNexis, for example, from assessing your credit report. It doesn't help you when it comes to disputing items. Because you have to think about what you're saying. You're going to freeze your credit report and then you're going to dispute an account with Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, like the credit monitoring companies, the credit bureaus who already have access to your report. Freezing your report doesn't stop them from being able to review your credit report. They already have access to this information. Actually, the companies that we do business with are giving them the information. Okay. So it doesn't help with your disputes. It doesn't keep any company, when you're disputing something from them, from assessing your credit profiles. They are still able to see it. It doesn't help with bankruptcies. It doesn't help, that may have been a tactic in the past. That's why I try to keep information updated, to let you guys know that things that once worked back then probably won't work now. So it doesn't help speed up your process. It doesn't keep the credit bureaus out. What freezing your credit report does is protect you from identity theft. It keeps companies and potential assholes who are finding your information. It keeps them from opening an account in your name without your permission. It keeps companies from running your credit reports, assessing your credit report without your permission. And sometimes, well, all of the time, it will stop you if you forget to remove the freeze when you're trying to apply for something. It just helps in that matter. But when it comes to disputes, suppressing or freezing your credit report, it doesn't help with disputes, okay? Because that's just something else I want you guys to know.
So let me go ahead and prove that she's not lying. So right here, I have Innovis, right? I'm going to move this over here so I can show you guys. There it is. I have Innovis's freeze site up. And Innovis's freeze site flat out tells you, third parties that still have access to your Innovis credit report when a security freeze is in place include companies that have current accounts or relationships with you, collection agencies acting on behalf of companies that have a current account or existing relationship with you, credit monitoring companies. It tells you flat out on their website. Stop letting these gurus put this crap in your brain that freezing credit reports is going to do anything. It doesn't even slow down nothing. It don't even slow down anything. If you think Innovis is the only one, let's go to the bigger one. The one that has all your information from the date you were a doggone zygote. Let's see here. However, a security freeze does not apply to companies or collection agencies acting on behalf of such companies with which you have an existing account that requires information in your consumer report for the purposes of reviewing or collecting the account. That's LexisNexis and Innovis, the two biggest third-party credit reporting agencies with the most influence and the most information to verify and validate information with the big three credit bureaus. If they're not messing with it, who else ain't messing with it? Nobody. Not ARS, not Clarity, not CoreLogic, not nobody. Stop freezing your credit reports. It's the biggest monumental waste of time ever. Just thought I'd put a little paper to the words she was saying. I've been telling you guys this for years. Stop freezing your credit reports. It's useless. And also, when it comes to the credit rebuilding process, it makes it a nightmare because now you can't even apply for new credit because your dumb ass done froze stuff that don't need to be frozen. Moving on. Oh, it looks like we're at the end of the video. All right. Well, guys, we're at the end of the video. And all the tips that she helped give you right now, on top of hopefully some of the information and value that I put on top of it, should help you guys get through your credit repair process a lot smoother, a lot easier, with a lot less headaches, a lot less 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. We don't want that. We want you guys in the program and out. Now, you guys, I know that LifewithMC is selling her own letters. I'm going to link her information in the description below so that you guys can go check out her channel, maybe even check out some of her template dispute letters. But if you don't want to print out and have to learn how to fill out template dispute letters, I've helped invent a system that will do it all for you. It will create custom dispute letters for you every single month, no matter how many credit accounts that you have that need to be addressed. You probably don't know nothing about this, but it disputes in 3 different methods. It disputes in factual disputing. It will dispute in Metro 2. It will also dispute using consumer law information. And you don't even have to decide when to try to use those. The system will decide for you. And I know printing out stuff, stuffing envelopes, mailing, it's a pain in the ass. You're going to deal with that with most DIY systems. Not with ours. We do everything for you, all the way down to sending the information to the big 3 credit bureaus, LexisNexis and Innovis, like I just showed you, as well as 9 or 10 other third-party credit reporting agencies. And we didn't stop there. It will send the information directly to the creditors and collection companies as well. This is an all-encompassing system. We have left no stone unturned. This is the easiest, most effective, most proven way to do DIY credit repair. You can check Google with our 4.7 star rating with almost 300 reviews at this point. Dispute Beast is no joke. Give it a try yourself at beastdiy.com. I will also link that information below, but y'all go check out LifewithMC. This video was phenomenal. She has a new fan in me. And matter of fact, I already subscribed to you. Okay. May wanted to make sure we're subscribed. All right. Very good. I appreciate you guys for joining me for this video and supporting my channel as usual. Y'all, I know y'all can go anywhere on the internet for your credit information, including LifewithMC, but you're here with me. Be blessed.